Madison Middle School presents baseball by Michael and Joshua.
What's your name?
Joaquin Casals.
How do you handle criticism?
I don't let it get to me.
How do you handle the publicity and public?
I've never really had it.
How long have you been playing baseball for?
For about eight years.
What position do you think is the most difficult to play and why?
Shortstop, because you have to be a leader and you have to be the most athletic on the team.
Which baseball player do you look up to and why?
I look up to Fernando Tatis Jr. because he's a leader out there and he's really athletic.
Is baseball your passion? If so, why?
Yes, because I want to go pro one day, hopefully.
What inspired you to play baseball?
My brother.
What is the hardest thing about playing baseball?
The mental part of baseball, 100%.
Baseball is a bat and ball sport played between two teams of 9 players, each taking turns batting and fielding. The game is live when the umpire signals to the pitcher either verbally or by pointing, indicating that the ball is now in play.
What's your name?
Joshua Hadamil.
How do you handle criticism?
I don't really get it that often.
How do you handle the publicity in public?
It doesn't really happen, like the criticism, nobody really does that.
How long have you been playing baseball for?
Since I was about 3 years old.
What position do you think is the most difficult to play?
Second and short, because you have to be most athletic and you always be moving around, and that's where the ball mainly gets hit to you.
Which baseball player do you look up to?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Is baseball your passion? If so, why?
Yes, it is, because I wanted to go pro for a long time and hopefully go to college and get a good job in the pros.
What inspired you to play baseball?
My dad.
What is the hardest thing about baseball?
Probably the mental part.
Baseball became popular during the Civil War, and even more so when the soldiers brought the game back home. The Cincinnati Baseball Club, also known as the Cincinnati Red Stockings, was founded in 1866 and was the first baseball team to recruit and pay its players professionally. They played against other ball clubs at the Union Cricket Club grounds and while touring the U.S.
Jaden Hadamil.
How do you handle criticism?
It really depends. I only pay attention to the criticism that can help me.
How do you handle the publicity and public?
It's not something I pay attention to.
How long have you been playing baseball for?
I think 9 or 10 years.
What position do you think is the most difficult to play and why?
Catcher for sure. They're always involved and always have to know what's going on.
What position do you play?
I play third base.
Which baseball player do you look up to and why?
Derek Jeter. I grew up watching him and he's arguably the greatest shortstop of all time.
What inspired you to play baseball?
It's my favorite thing to do and I always look up forward to it. It's the only thing I really have a passion for.
What is the hardest thing about playing baseball?
You always need to have the right mindset. You always have to have a short memory, and baseball's a 90% mental and 10% physical sport.
Hank Aaron holds the record for the most runs batted in MLB history. He played for 21 seasons, spending 19 years with the Milwaukee/Atlanta Braves and 2 years with the Milwaukee Brewers. During his career, he batted in 2,297 runs. In 1957, his power hitting helped the Atlanta Braves win the World Series for the first time since 1914.
Shane Casals.
How do you handle criticism?
Ignore it.
How do you handle the publicity and public?
I don't know, just go with it.
How long have you been playing baseball for?
My whole life.
What position do you think is the most difficult to play and why?
Catching, they have to move a lot and it probably gets hot back there and stuff.
Which baseball player do you look up to and why?
Bryce Harper. He's mostly in high school. I like his mentality.
Is baseball your passion? If so, why?
Yes, it's my favorite sport, and it's just great.
What inspired you to play baseball?
My dad, he got me into the sport.
What is the hardest thing about playing baseball?
Hitting off pitchers is probably the hardest part.
MLB Hall of Famer Yogi Berra holds the record for the most World Series appearances, as well as the record for the most World Series wins. He played in 14 World Series and earned 10 World Series rings as a New York Yankee. He was proud to point out that he had a World Series ring for every one of his fingers, a feat that no other player has.
How do you handle criticism?
I don't really get it too often because, kind of young.
How do you handle the publicity in public?
I don't really have that much publicity because it's mostly my family and the other players' family, so not that many people come to my games.
How long have you been playing baseball for?
About 9 or 10 years.
What is the most difficult position to play?
Me personally, I think shortstop, because you have to be a team leader and you can't really make many errors.
Which baseball player do you look up to and why?
I look up to Aaron Judge because his mentality and how he boosts the players on his team.
Is baseball your passion? If so, why?
Yeah, that's my passion. It's been my passion ever since I was a kid.
Who inspired you to play baseball?
My grandpa, because I used to live with my grandpa because my parents didn't really have that much money, and he would take me to Isotopes games, and we would set up a tee, and he would let me hit on it, and he would field it and then put it back and just keep letting me hit off it, so it was pretty fun.
What is the hardest thing about playing baseball now or in the future?
I think either batting off fast pitchers or fielding balls without making errors, because if you make one error, it can kind of screw up the whole